Yo, Big C in the house. You know the name. Fin Posse Podcast. Changing the game. Fins up high. Feel the aqua and orange. Miami Heat blazing. We scorching the floor. Marino the tour. We stacking the saga. Legacy deep, call it football nirvana. Big C, break it down, got the stats in his veins. Play-by-play knowledge like he's calling the chains. Fins flying on the field, opponents feel the blast. Tyreek cheetah speed, leaving DBs in the past. Waddle with the wiggle, defense with the clamp. Aqua drip so clean, whole squash the champ. Tune in, Big C, got the mic on lock. Fin Posse Podcast, it's the cream of the crop. Breaking news, hot takes, repping the block. For the Dolphin faithful, it's the one-stop shop. Fin Posse. We the voice of the fans. Miami stand tall, got the world in our hands. Best podcast, yo, ain't no debate. Big C, big vibes, setting it straight. Defense smash, call it Aqua Tsunami. X locking routes like a South Beach Armani. O-line holding strong, trenches like a fortress. Big C dissected, no stack goes dormant.
Try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. Looking for change, looking for pain. Pulling a mob, pushing a train. I'll never stop, stick to a lane. Pick up the pieces and go rearrange. I'll be the best above all the rest, put me to the test and expect nothing less. You check as I'm chess, what's happening next? Yeah. He got the venom, a tangible weapon, no coming in second. This life is a lesson. He got a new engine from pain, it's a blessing. New focus, no guessing, just bold and obsession. All in his position.
What up, Fin fans? Welcome to another episode of the Fin Posse Podcast. I'm your host, Big C, and this is brought to you by Game Changers Media. How is everyone doing this morning? Good morning. Whoo! Week 12, almost in the books. I've got Monday Night Football tonight. Miami Dolphins, we're on their bye week. Obviously, the good news about that is the Miami Dolphins could not lose, right? They could not lose if they did not play. So that was a load off our minds, a stress-free weekend. But we got some things to discuss today because I am the bearer of bad news. And I hate to talk about it because I thought there was more of a chance than what there actually is. But all this winning, it makes us feel good. 3 of the last 4, it makes this Dolphins fan base feel good about winning. But realistically, the Miami Dolphins, even if they finish 10-7, the Miami Dolphins will not make the playoffs. The Miami Dolphins will not make the playoffs, and we dug ourselves in too much of a hole. 10 wins is not going to be enough. With all the teams crumpled in there together, there's just too many teams. And with all the tiebreakers, and I'll break it down to you and I'll show you, it's an unwinnable. It's just not obtainable. It's not obtainable. So every win that we go out there and scrape together this year, and I think the Dolphins have a legit shot at running the table. I really do. You know, if you take a look at the New England Patriots schedule, maybe the easiest schedule I've ever seen. So as much as you want to give Drake May credit, Mike Vrabel credit for the turnaround for the New England Patriots, if you go take a look at the New England Patriots schedule, which we can do, we could take a look at it. New England Patriots schedule. Okay, let's go back here. We'll present this. Share screen. New England Patriots schedule. Share. Let's bring it up. Now, you can give Mike Vrabel all the credit in the world. You can say Drake May is the next Tom Brady, which, listen, people are out there saying these things. But let's take a look at the schedule and really see what all the hoopla is and why the New England Patriots are sitting with the league's best record. Where are we at? Jesus, take me back to last year. Don't need all that. All right, so right here. So they start off the season, they lose to the Raiders. I don't know how that happened, right? They lose to the Raiders. And then they beat the Miami Dolphins, which the Miami Dolphins absolutely had a shot at winning that football game. We should have won that football game. Then they lose to the Steelers, which I really don't understand how they lost that game neither. And then they beat the Panthers. Listen, I think the Panthers got a nice record. Panthers have had a very easy schedule too. So they beat the Panthers. They beat the Bills. I'll give them credit for the Buffalo Bills win, even though the Buffalo Bills aren't the same Buffalo Bills of years past. Then they had the Titans. Then they had the Browns. Then the Falcons. Then the Bucks. I'll give them credit for the Bucks win. And then they had the Jets, the Bengals. And this is what they have left. They got the Giants left. They got the Bills again. They got the Ravens, the Jets again, and then the Dolphins. This schedule is a cakewalk. The New England Patriots should have won this division. They should win this division. So I think, for everybody that has these high expectations for the New England Patriots, I would seriously temper those down a bit, because I think when they get to the playoffs and they have to play the Ravens or the Broncos, I think they're gonna. I think it could be a one and done for the Patriots, to be honest. I really do. But the Miami Dolphins, we just put ourselves in too much of a hole, and I think all these wins that we're piling together, I fully expect us to beat the New Orleans Saints this weekend. I fully expect us to beat the New York Jets the following week. We got Cincinnati, Tampa Bay. Baker Mayfield went down with an injury last night. Cost me $1,300. $1,300. I needed the guy to throw for 150 yards. He went down, didn't come out in the second half. $1,300 that cost me. That's the only thing I had left on my parlay, was for Baker Mayfield to throw for 150 yards, and this guy goes out injured. So we could be facing a Tampa Bay team without Baker Mayfield. And then we have the New England Patriots at the end of the season. That's a game that New England may be resting their starters in. So it's a realistic possibility, more so than some people may want to think, that we could come off and win the remaining games on our schedule. But it's true. It could happen. But I think all that's going to do is hurt us. I really do. It's going to hurt where we draft, obviously. Right now, we're sitting at number 10 in the NFL draft. If we win out, I mean, we'll see. Well, I'll show all of that. You'll see where we'll finish out if we win out. We'll go over a couple different scenarios. But yeah, there's just too many teams. Like, we needed Jacksonville to lose yesterday to the Cardinals. They ended up pulling it out. We needed the Colts to beat the Chiefs yesterday. The Chiefs end up winning a game. This has been a crazy NFL season, first and foremost. One of the craziest I've ever seen. One of the craziest seasons I've ever seen. Philadelphia Eagles up 21-0 on the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas comes back, wins 24-21. Absolutely crazy. Just a lot of things happen this season that you just don't expect. Glenn says we already screwed up the draft. You know, if we continue to win games, yeah, we're gonna end up giving ourselves the shiv pretty bad, because we had an opportunity for a top 5 pick. And listen, I'm a Dolphins fan. I love to see the team win, but I don't want to see us mess up the future for some meaningless victories neither. You get me? Like, I love to watch this team win on Sundays. Nothing makes me happier. But again, there's a bigger goal in the horizon. I'd much rather us build this team and continue to build this team so we can be winners, consistent winners in the future. Consistently putting out a good product on the football field. And I really do think that winning the rest of our games, when we got a 1% chance, maybe less than a 1% chance at making the playoffs this year. That's what the odds are right now. Now, could it happen? Could a miracle happen? Yeah. A miracle could happen. A miracle could happen. In this wacky season, anything's possible. Like I said, this season has been like no other season I can remember. Teams beating teams that have no, you have upsets throughout the years. You know what I mean? Obviously, there's an upset or a few upsets during the season, but nothing like this. Nothing like this season. It's who you pick, not the order. That's true, Michael Lombardo, but you got to admit, obviously those higher end quality players typically are in the front of the draft. And we're not just talking about first round draft picks. That pushes you back to the middle of the second round, the middle of the third round. We're talking a lot of draft positioning. We're not just talking about dropping from a top 5 pick to the 15th pick. That affects every round of the draft. What would be the biggest need in draft this year? Obviously we need corner help. I would say right tackle needs to be addressed. Austin Jackson is not the answer. Wide receiver needs to be addressed. I mean, we're looking pretty slim behind Jalen Waddle. Malik Washington, I mean, I feel like he looks like he could be a gadget player kind of guy, but is he a real slot guy to me? Is he a real number 2 option to me? No, I don't see it. Nick Westbrook-Akine has been an absolute disaster for us. Michael, we're at top 10 pick right now, though. We're talking about winning multiple more games. We're sitting top 10 right now, but we're talking about beating the Jets. We're talking about beating the Saints. We're talking about beating the Steelers, beating the Bengals. You know what I mean? Like, you win another 3-4 games, you're not a top 10. You're not top 10 in the draft anymore. And the one thing I don't want us to do in the NFL draft is to reach for a quarterback. Please do not reach for a quarterback just because you feel you need to get one. We have a lot more holes that we can address this year. Worry about a quarterback next year. I think the quarterback class next year will be better. The biggest need will be defensive end. Yeah, you can't go wrong with pass rushers. You can't go wrong with pass rushers, Glenn. But also, Glenn, you can also find guys in free agency that can come in and get you 10 sacks. So, I mean, I'd prefer the address right tackle in the draft. I'd prefer to address cornerback in the draft because you can find pass rushers. You can find pass rushers that can come in and get the job done, give you a service, and go out there and rush the quarterback. If teams above us keep winning and Dolphins keep winning, then Dolphins can remain in the top 10. Yeah, but a lot of those teams we're playing, though. We're playing the Jets. We're playing the Saints. We're playing the Bengals, right? Glenn, you're going to spend some type of money. I'm not talking about go out there and spend $30 million on a free agent. I'm not talking about that. But look at what we went and got Matthew Judon for. Matthew Judon hasn't produced, but he's a pass rusher. You know what I mean? Like, you can find pass rushers. Jadeveon Clowney has been available the last few years. He's not getting paid $30 million a year. There's players that you can go out and bring in that can rush the quarterback. I think it's more important to address the right tackle, the cornerback position in the draft than it is to find a pass rusher. But let's take a look at the NFL playoff predictor. We have one more year to go. We're trying to stable the money. I mean, I agree. We need to save money for that 2027 season. But you're still going to have to spend some type of money. You still got to you still got to field the team. So we'll go and we will predict the rest of this season. Add to screen. Here we go. So this is the standings right now. New England sitting at top of the AFC East at 10-2. Buffalo 7-4. Dolphins 4-7. New England are the Jets at 2-9. The AFC North, Baltimore, can't believe they're already in front of the AFC North after their horrible start. They're sitting at 6-5. Pittsburgh sitting at 6-5, right behind Baltimore. Cincinnati 3-8, and then Cleveland 3-8. And then the AFC South, you got Indy at 8-3. They lost a heartbreaker to the Chiefs yesterday, which we needed Indy to win that game. Jacksonville won yesterday against the Cardinals. We needed them to drop that game. They're sitting at 7-4. And then you got Houston 6-5, who had an awesome performance against the Buffalo Bills on Thursday Night Football, sacking Josh Allen 8 times. That was a beautiful thing to watch. And then you got the Tennessee Titans at 1-10. The Broncos sitting at 9-2 at the head of the AFC West. You got the Chargers at 7-4, the Chiefs at 6-5, and the Raiders sitting at 2-9. Now let's see. Let's take a look at the draft order where it currently sits. Draft order. Currently, Tennessee owns that first overall pick. The Giants, number 2. Saints at 3. Jets at 4. Raiders at 5. Cleveland at 6. Washington at 7. Cincinnati at 8. Arizona 9. There we are at 10. 11 is the Rams, which is crazy. The Rams got such a good roster, and the fact that the Rams got they're sitting there right at a top 10 pick, that's scary. Minnesota at 12, Dallas 13, Carolina 14, Pittsburgh 15, and the Chiefs at 16. So let's go through, and Week 12's games are all done except for the Monday night game. Let's see. Oh. So I think San Francisco is going to pull this one out. So let's go to Week 13. I got Detroit next week, even though they've been really inconsistent. They almost dropped one to the Giants yesterday. I'm going to say Dallas beats KC. Dallas got an explosive offense. We're gonna go about this one. Best case scenario for the Dolphins. And I'm going to show you, even though if we go the best case scenario for the Dolphins still will not make the playoffs, unfortunately. Got Baltimore over Cincinnati, Philadelphia over Chicago, the Rams over Carolina, got San Francisco over the Browns. Going to take Indy over Houston, Dolphins over the Saints. Trail down. Got Atlanta over the Jets, Tampa Bay over Arizona, Jacksonville over Tennessee, unfortunately, Seattle over Minnesota. Got the Chargers winning. This game, let's say Pittsburgh beats Buffalo. Denver over Washington, and New England over the Giants. Go week 14. Let's go Detroit over Dallas, Seattle over Atlanta, Baltimore over Pittsburgh, Cleveland over Tennessee, Green Bay over Chicago, Indy over Jacksonville, Minnesota over Washington. Dolphins over the Jets. Tampa Bay over the Saints. Denver over the Raiders. Rams over Cardinals. Buffalo over Cincinnati, unfortunately. I'm going to say KC over Houston. And then Philadelphia over the Chargers. Week 15. Let's go Tampa over Atlanta, Chicago over Cleveland, Baltimore over the Bengals. You got Houston over Arizona, Jacksonville over the Jets. Chargers beat KC, New England over Buffalo, Giants over Washington. Got Philly over Las Vegas, Denver over Green Bay, Rams, Carolina, Seattle, San Francisco, Dallas. And then Miami over Pittsburgh. Again, this is best case scenario. That means we win out. Week 16. Got those Rams, Green Bay, Philly. I think Baltimore beats New England because I think New England is overrated. They just haven't played anybody. Tampa Bay over Carolina, Buffalo over Cleveland, Dallas over the Chargers, Jets over the Saints, Giants over Minnesota, Kansas City over Tennessee, Atlanta over Arizona, Denver over Jacksonville, Detroit over Pittsburgh, Houston over the Raiders, Dolphins beat Cincinnati, and San Francisco over Indy. Week 17, got Dallas, Detroit, Denver beats KC, Seattle over Carolina, Arizona over Cincinnati, Baltimore over Green Bay, Chargers beat Houston, got the Giants over the Raiders, Pittsburgh over Cleveland, Indy over Jacksonville, Miami over Tampa Bay, New England over the Jets, Saints beat Tennessee. Philly over Buffalo, San Francisco over Chicago, and the Rams over Atlanta. Takes us to week 18. Atlanta over New Orleans, Buffalo over the Jets, Detroit over Chicago, Cincinnati over Cleveland, Denver beats the Chargers, Indy beats Houston, Jacksonville beats Tennessee, the Rams beat Arizona, KC over the Raiders, Green Bay over Minnesota. The Dolphins beat the Patriots because they're resting people. Not to mention we can beat them anyway. We've proven that. Dallas over the Giants, Philadelphia over Washington, Baltimore over Pittsburgh, Seattle wins, Tampa Bay wins. And then let's go down here and see the final standings. Actually, they're right up here. In this scenario, the Miami Dolphins make the playoffs, but I think that I gave Buffalo a loss that they probably shouldn't have. But if all these games turn out this way, Miami has a 1% chance of making the playoffs. So they got a shot. They got a shot. But do I think that we win out? No, I don't think that we win out. I think Baker Mayfield's probably back for that game when we play the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I think Pittsburgh's a toss-up. We haven't been consistent enough to sit there and to make me feel comfortable to say that we're going to win the next 5 games. Although we should be getting healthy down the stretch, which is a bonus for the Miami Dolphins. I just don't think this team has the talent to do it. We're lacking playmakers on offense. It's either Waddle or Achane. It's very predictable. I love what Mike McDaniel's done with the 6th offensive lineman. I think that's been hugely successful. I think the defense has played better. Jack Jones definitely playing better. Rasul Douglas has played great this year. Hopefully, I just want to see growth. I want to see continuous growth from our young players this year. That's what I'm concerned with. I want to see Kenneth Grant continue to make plays. I want to see Jordan Phillips continue to make plays. I want to see Jonah get better. I want to see Dante Trader make plays. That's what I want for this season. Shador had a decent game, in my opinion. He did what he was asked to do. Now, he made mistakes in that game. He's got to be more careful with the football, but he did what he was supposed to do. I do think that's Shador's job to lose now. I really do. I think a lot of us have lost faith in the Dolphins organization. I think a lot of us have lost faith in Mike McDaniel. That's what happens when you continue to get burned over and over and over. That's what happens. What's up, Marcos? Yo, Marcos, me and Mike Jones was talking the other day, and he was like, the Carolina Panthers sitting 6-5. I was like, the Panthers ain't 6-5. I was like, you're tripping. They got like 4 wins. He's like, no, they're 6-5. I was like, bullshit. I couldn't believe that the Panthers had that many victories. Good for you guys. Good for you guys. Again, I just want to see Miami do the right things to build this team for the future. That's what I'm concerned with. I want us to I want Stephen Ross to hire the right guys, football guys that know how to build a football team. That's what's important to me. I want to draft quality young football players that are football players that got grit to them, that love the game of football. I want to find our quarterback of the future that isn't limited by his physical attributes. I want this team to be good for years and years to come. Good for you, Marcos. Congratulations, brother. Congratulations. Yeah, I thought they were struggling more than 6-5. I was impressed. I was impressed. Listen, I laid out the plan for the Miami Dolphins, and I think it's a plan that would be highly successful if they went about it that way. I think you keep Mike McDaniel and Tua for one more season. I think you go into this draft and you just continue the build. You continue the build. And then the list of young players that we'll have for that 27 NFL season should be a lengthy list. Hopefully Chop can get back on the right foot. I think Chop's problem this year is that they weren't playing him enough. You were trying to feed too many people at the table. You were trying to get Jalen Phillips snaps, Bradley Chubb snaps, Matthew Judon snaps. I think Chop Robinson's one of those players that needs to be in there consistently, get a feel for the game. And, that's how he makes his impact. I think throwing him in every couple of plays isn't what's best for Chop Robinson. I think Kenneth Grant is going to be a phenomenal young player. I think Jordan Phillips is going to be phenomenal. I think Dante Trader has the ability to be a starting safety for us for years to come. I think Jonah will get it figured out. I really do. I like Ali Gordon. I like Achane. All these guys are super young. You add another draft class to that. And let's say we hit on 3 of 9 picks. 4 out of 9 picks. That's another 4 guys you add to that list. And then in 2027, like I said, you go out and we'll have a very young roster. We'll have a lot of cap room because Tua can come off the books. Tyreek's going to be off the books this year. Bradley Chubb's contract is going to be off the books. We're going to have a ton of cap room. We'll be able to go ahead and draft whatever quarterback we should want. We can trade up for a quarterback if need be. But you'll have a super young roster. It'll be a very attractive job to potential head coaches. I think Mike McDaniel's going to be a great head coach in this league someday. And it's sad to me that it probably won't be with the Miami Dolphins because he had to take his lumps. You know what I mean? And sometimes you got to do that. Sometimes these young head coaches got to come in and they got to struggle at first because they're in over their heads. If you've never been a head coach before, how are you going to be a good head coach? And I know it's happened. I know there have been first-time head coaches that have been great head coaches. But more than likely, a coach has failed and is on his second opportunity or third opportunity before he's a great head coach. I agree, Dean. When the Dolphins beat, especially that Bills victory, that was enough for me. That was enough for me. So now I don't care about the win so much as the continuous growth. Still, that continuous growth. And even if we keep Mike McDaniel and Tua next year, that's not to say that we can't compete for a playoff spot. Mike McDaniel has shown that he's a good enough coach to compete for the playoffs. Tua has shown that he can be a good enough quarterback to compete for the playoffs. Trading him up always sets us back. Waddle and Jonah recently. When we swing for the guy, we think it always bites us in the butt. I mean, we do have a bad history with that, Miller. But if you want to get that top quarterback, unless you just straight go with Quinn Ewers next year and you bite the bullet on Tua and you bite the bullet on McDaniel, you're going to not be in range to get a top quarterback. If Tua's the quarterback here, he's going to win you some games. He's going to put you in a position that you're not going to have a top 5 pick. Perfect example is this year. We're going to be in a position where we're not going to have a top 5 pick. They're just, we don't. Tua's not a bum. Tua's not a bum. As much as some of the fan base wants to put him as a bum, he's not a bum. He's going to win you some football games. And he's going to put you in a position where you're not a cellar dweller. I mean, realistically, I think we picked probably 15 through 17 in this draft coming up. Where do you see us ending up in the draft order? I think somewhere between 15 and 17. I think we beat the Saints. I think we beat the Jets. And we win at least one of the remaining 3, either Cincinnati, Steelers, the remaining 4, Steelers, Cincinnati, New England, or Tampa Bay. No way we pick top 10, Michael. No way. There's no way. There's no way. Currently, we're top 10 at 10. If we can start under 15, I believe we get a great prospect. At what position, though, Miller? What position? Because Michael, if you have 8 wins, you don't pick in the top 10. 8 wins isn't a top 10 pick. See, Marcos, I think Alabama quarterbacks, you should try to stay away from Alabama quarterbacks. As far as what I can see, Alabama's a great collegiate program, but as far as their quarterbacks, Alabamas are typically defensive teams with crazy skill players. The quarterback is definitely a more of a game manager for Alabama, a distributor of the football, that point guard position. We talk about the point guard, quarterbacks that are point guards. That's what Alabama quarterbacks typically are. They're point guards. They have great defenses and a crazy amount of skill players, and the quarterbacks just got to get the ball into the skill players' hands. Interior offensive line that high is a stretch, I feel, though. You don't think interior offensive line top 15 pick is kind of high? I think you take a right tackle that has some experience playing guard. You know what I mean? I think you take a right tackle that has experience playing guard. I think Austin Jackson's time is done. I think we win at least 3 more, Michael. I think we win 3 more. So that takes us 7 wins. 7 wins isn't a top 10 pick. I mean, maybe this season's been wacky, but I don't see it. I don't see it. I mean, it could, we could be there. We could be there. Let's go back here real quick. Let's share this. Add the screen. Let's do this one more time, more realistically, and see where we end up. All right, week 13, week 12. We got to do the Monday night game. I wish it was easier to scroll down. I need a mouse. That's what I need. I need a mouse for this computer. All right, so Carolina beat San Francisco, I'm going to say. For my man Marcos. For my man Marcos. They pulled off the W tonight. All right, so week 13, Detroit. Let's say Dallas over KC still. Baltimore over Cincinnati. Philly. Rams over Carolina, sorry. San Francisco. Indy over Houston. I do think the Dolphins beat the Saints, so that gives us 5 wins. Atlanta over the Jets. Tampa Bay over Arizona. Jacksonville over Tennessee. Seattle over Minnesota. Chargers over the Raiders. I think Buffalo beats Pittsburgh. Denver over Washington. And New England over the Giants. Although the Giants, the Giants only got 2 wins, but in reality, the Giants should have 6. They've lost so many last-second games. I feel bad for Mike Jones. Man, they've been so close. The Giants' future definitely looks bright. Detroit over Dallas, although Detroit has been very inconsistent. Seattle over Atlanta. Baltimore over Pittsburgh, Cleveland over Tennessee, Green Bay over Chicago. Again, this is the more realistic one. Indy over Jacksonville, Minnesota over Washington. I do think we beat the Jets. That takes us to 6 and 7. Tampa over New Orleans, Denver over the Raiders, Rams over the Cardinals, Buffalo over Cincinnati. Damn it. KC over Houston, Philadelphia over the Chargers. Week 15, Tampa over Atlanta. Chicago over Cleveland, Baltimore over Cincinnati, Houston over Arizona, Jacksonville over the Jets, Kansas City over the Chargers, New England over Buffalo, Giants over Washington, Philadelphia over the Raiders, Denver over Green Bay, Rams over Detroit, Cardinals over New Orleans, Indy. No, I like Seattle over Indy. San Francisco over Tennessee. Dallas over Minnesota. And I'm going to say Pittsburgh beats us. But Miami could win that game. But since Pittsburgh's at home, I'm going to give it to Pittsburgh. Rams, Green Bay, Philly, Baltimore over New England. Again, New England, I don't feel like has had the greatest of schedule. They've just had an easy-ass schedule. I'm going to say Carolina beats Tampa Bay. Buffalo beats Cleveland. Dallas beats the Chargers. The Jets beat New Orleans. The Giants beat Minnesota. Kansas City over Tennessee. Arizona over Atlanta. Denver over Jacksonville. Detroit over Pittsburgh. Houston over the Raiders. Joe Burrow should be back. I'm going to say Cincinnati beats us. No, this is the one. I'm going to say Miami beats Cincinnati. San Francisco over Indy. Week 17, Dallas, Detroit, Denver, Seattle, Arizona, Baltimore. Chargers. Go with the Giants. Pittsburgh. Indy, Tampa Bay, New England. Go with New Orleans, Philadelphia, San Francisco, and the Rams. Now, week 18 is week 18 becomes crazy, right? Because you don't know if teams are going to be resting their starters, if they're going for a number 1 seed, what's going to happen. So right now, the Denver Broncos got the number 1 seed at 14-2, but the Patriots are right up there. They could steal that. So I do think the Patriots in this scenario would play their starters, depending on if the Broncos win. And the Broncos will be playing the Chargers, and the Chargers playing for their playoff lives. So I'm going to say Atlanta beats New Orleans. Buffalo beats the Jets. Detroit beats Chicago. Cleveland beats Cincinnati. I'm going to say the Chargers beat the Broncos. I'm going to say Indy beats Houston. Jacksonville beats Tennessee. I got the Rams over Arizona. Kansas City over the Raiders. Green Bay over Minnesota. New England over Miami. In this scenario, New England still would not win the conference. It'd still be Denver's conference. Dallas over the Giants. Philadelphia over Washington. Got Baltimore over Pittsburgh. Seattle over San Francisco, and Tampa Bay over the Cardinals. So Denver would have the number 1 seed, Patriots number 2, Colts 3, Ravens 4, Buffalo 5, Jacksonville 6, and the Chargers 7. Where would that leave us as far as draft order? We'd be sitting at 12 at 7-10. We'd be sitting at 12 at 7-10. How many of those teams need quarterbacks ahead of us? I'd say the Raiders, possibly the Saints still, Jets for sure, maybe Cleveland, Arizona for sure, maybe the Rams. And then let's predict the playoff games. I would take the Ravens over Buffalo. I'd take the Colts over them. I'd take New England. I'd take the... Oh, man. And then I'm taking Indy. I'm taking Baltimore. I got the Rams winning the Super Bowl as of right now. I got the Rams winning the Super Bowl right now. What's your thought on that? Who you got? Who's your favorite to win the Super Bowl right now? Denver is fool's gold. I agree. I agree. Eric Rivera, listen, man, we got a less than 1% chance. I just went over it. It's going to be, is it possible? Anything is possible. Anything is possible, man. But it's going to be a rough road. It's a rough road. We need a lot of things to happen for us. A lot. We need a lot of things to happen. But right now, my favorite is the Rams to win the Super Bowl. I think they got a very good team, a complete team. Matthew Stafford is playing out of their mind. They beat up yesterday on the Tampa Bay Bucks, and Tampa Bay has a lot of injuries. So you got to take that into account. But I think the Rams have been the most consistent team in the NFL. What a wide receiver combo out there they got. Matthew Stafford got with Puka and Devontae Adams playing like the young Devontae Adams. So, man, they're my favorites right now. They are my favorites. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. Listen, I've lost 5 subscribers in the last week and a half. I don't get it, but it is what it is. I'm trying to get to 1,000. I was at 850 and now I'm at 845. It is what it is, but if you don't like the program, you don't like the program. I get it. It's cool. I try to be interactive with everybody. I try to make everybody feel like they're included. If you want to go watch somebody else's show and just be a dollar sign to them, go ahead. That's up to you. They just count you as a view. They just counting how many dollars they can make off of you. So I don't see you guys that way. I see you as people. I want to get to know you guys. I want to talk to you guys. I want your opinions. You know what I mean? I like to go back and forth. This isn't just a platform for me to come out and ramble off my opinion and you guys to listen to it. Because none of us are professionals. None of us are professional sports analysts. Come on. It's all an opinion-based thing. It's an all opinion-based thing. If you want to go and listen to a bunch of guys talk about, we got to keep the lights on, I keep my lights on for free. You know what I mean? My lights are on for free. I'm sitting here because I love to be here. I'm not sitting here because I'm collecting a paycheck from you guys. I'm trying, Marcos. I appreciate it, brother. It does get frustrating at times. It does. I watch all these guys collab with each other just because, they all got a bunch of subscribers. They don't try to help people out. I had to pay for every one of mine. I paid hundreds of dollars for people to come on my show for you guys. And it's because I love to do it and I appreciate you all. You know what I mean? I appreciate every one of you. But it does. I am an emotional person. And when I see my subs go down, I'll be like, damn, what did I do wrong? I don't try to give you guys false narratives. I give you my opinion. And I don't say that my opinion's 100%. It's just my opinion. It's my opinion as a Dolphin fan. And then I want to hear your opinion as Dolphin fans. And maybe you'll change my mind. Maybe I'll change your mind. That's the beauty of football. That's the beauty of sports. And I just, you know what I mean? It does get down on me a little bit, you know what I mean? Oh, the people out there do think they're experts. They think that they're, because they've had a YouTube channel for 5-6 years, that somehow, if you go back and watch their videos, they're very floppy. I stopped watching a lot of them. I used to support every single one of them. You know what I mean? I used to support every single one of them, but after listening to them for a while and getting to know some of them, I struggle with it. But I still subscribe to them. I still try to show appreciation and love. A lot of them, were an inspiration to me. You know what I mean? But yeah, make sure you hit the like button. I got a lot of things planned for the 1,000 show. This channel is gonna change quite a bit. Even the cosmetic look of it. I got some big plans. Hopefully by New Year's. I can get it figured out. Charge me. Listen, I paid hundreds and hundreds of dollars. Hundreds of dollars. No, I didn't pay Miss Finns. Miss Finns is more down. I mean, she's got more subs than me. She's been doing it longer, you know what I mean? But Miss Finns is more, I'm talking about the upper echelon guys that think, you know what I mean? I mean, I know football. Like, I'm a football fan. I've been watching it for a lot of years. I'm not an expert. I don't know everything. Nobody knows everything about the game of football. Nobody knows how everything's going to turn out. You know what I mean? Sometimes you're going to be right. Sometimes you're going to be wrong. Listen, me and Michael K went back and forth about some things. He was right about this Dolphins team in a lot of ways, but he was also very wrong about his Buffalo Bills. You know what I mean? For everything you can show me that you were right about, I can show you 15 things you were wrong about. If you were such an expert and you knew the game of football so well that you never got anything wrong, how come you're not rich off DraftKings? Right? How come you're not rich off DraftKings? How come you're not picking the winners every week 100%? So it is what it is. I want everybody to prosper. You know what I mean? I want everybody to prosper. I want everybody to do good. I just wish other people felt the same way. You know what I mean? Our fantasy football league is wild. Yeah, it is. It is. I had a big week. Gibbs went off yesterday in fantasy, bro. Let's talk about that for a second. Gibbs is a monster. What do you have? 200 yards rushing, 10 catches, 3 touchdowns. Dude is a monster. I think he had 60 points in our league. Crazy. I see what you mean, Big C. Take your shot if you get it for next AFC roundtable. Listen, man. TD don't even act like he know who I be no more, man. What time? Cat in the Hat. I'm always willing to help out. You know what I mean? Like, I've gone on smaller shows. I'm willing to, you know what I mean? It don't got to be a big show. If I can help you guys at all, I'm willing to do that. I just got to make sure I'm available. I mean, if I can't do it today, we can definitely get it done in the future. You know what I mean? I need 7 points from Rico. 7 points from Rico, or you got. Will I be up all the way up to 4th place? Big C, you think we should trade a third pick for McBride, tight end from the Cardinals? I think he's a good ass player. I do like McBride. I think he's a good tight end. Third round pick. I wouldn't say that's a reach. I wouldn't say it's a reach. I'm not sure. Man, he's young. He's young. I would say yeah. He's a good young tight end. I like him a lot. He would give us another weapon on the offensive side of the ball. I do like him. It depends on who's coming out in the draft. I mean, you look at the players that came out this year. You got Tyler Warren, and even Mason Taylor has been really good for the Jets. So I mean, if you can get a rookie that is that talented, it's hard to say. But I do like the kid. I think he is super talented. I do like him a lot. We get Waller. Is Waller coming back this week? That's going to be huge for us. Hopefully Austin Jackson's back this week, right? Austin Jackson and Waller back. That should be huge for this Miami Dolphins team. That's another reason I think that we won't finish with a top 10 pick. Not only are we playing better and we've won 3 out of the last 4, but you're getting reinforcements back. Darren Waller, he's gonna know the offense that much more. He was, what do you have? 3 touchdowns in 3 games? We're lacking on offensive weapons. Like, that gives us another weapon that I think that Tua is very comfortable with. Start Darren Waller on fantasy if he's back. I think he's going to be productive. I think they'll use him more. I think the Miami Dolphins should try to bring Darren Waller back next year. Of course, injury concerns. He's a player that is often injured, but if he can stay healthy, man, he's shown that he's still a weapon that can be very successful in the NFL. So I'm all for it. Make sure you do the like button. Make sure you comment, subscribe, share. Spread the word. Bring as many people as you can. As soon as we get to 1,000, I got a great giveaway coming. We're gonna get rid of this Merino jersey behind me. We're gonna probably give out some cold hard cash. I know everybody likes that. It's on Discord. Send me a link, Cat in the Hat. Send me a link. But I'm going to get out of here. I love you all. I appreciate you all. We'll be breaking down this matchup with the Saints. I think the Miami Dolphins should absolutely wipe the floor with the Saints. I was watching them yesterday a little bit. They were terrible. Alvin Kamara went down with an injury. They were running a lot of trick plays with Taysom Hill. We'll see. We got to. I don't think I got a Discord. What is Discord? What up, Jeremy? Jeremy Stacy 503. What up, brother? What up? I don't know if I can. Yeah, it's not letting me. Yeah, I don't think it's letting me. It's not letting me click on it though. That Titans with long hair is playing well for us. What? Discord is a chat app. I mean, I can download it right on my phone, right? I got Signal. I'll download it. All right, but I love you. I appreciate you all, and I will see you later. Shoot me a time too, again, that. And I'll talk to y'all later. You know I appreciate you. You know I love you, and you know Fins up forever and ever and ever, baby. Peace.
Yo, Big C in the house. You know the name. Fin Posse Podcast. Changing the game. Fins up high. Feel the aqua and orange. Miami heat blazing. We scorching the floor. Moving the tour. We stacking the saga. Legacy deep. Call it football nirvana. Big C break it down. Got the stats in his veins. Play by play knowledge like he's calling the chains. Fins flying on the field. Opponents feel the blast. Tyreek cheetah speed. Leaving DBs in the past. Waddle with the wiggle. Defense with the clamp. Aqua drip so clean. Whole squad's the champ. Tune in. Big C. Got the mic on lock. Fin Posse Podcast. It's the cream of the crop. Breaking news. Hot takes. Repping the block. For the Dolphin faithful. It's the one-stop shop. Fin Posse. We the voice of the fans. Miami stand tall, got the world in our hands. Best podcast, yo, ain't no debate. Big C, big vibes, setting it straight. Defense smash, call it Aqua Tsunami. X locking routes like a South Beach Armani. O-line holding strong, trenches like a fortress. Big C dissected, no stack goes dormant.